And welcome to Win at the Horses again. Joe Kelley and Bill Kelley, dad and son team here, bringing you the info, the 411, the big weekend at Saratoga, Springs, New York. It's Travers Day tomorrow. So we got 5 grade 1 stakes. I think it's 5, right? Five or
I
oh,
I
six?
think it's four.
Okay.
Well, yeah, four. I think.
But a lot of great racing, a lot of standout horses, and we'll try to give you
Yeah,
a little
great
plan.
card. Yeah,
Yeah,
really
great
good.
card. Um, the Forgo, which is it's got two standout horses there off the back, Gunite and Elite Power, and 7 furlongs, grade 1, 4 and up. Do you see anybody defeating these two?
Uh, no,
No.
I
Okay.
no. The interesting thing to me is that, well, first of all, I guess we should add a weatherman to this podcast
Yeah,
because
that's right.
I mean, I mean, like today, I mean, it after the fifth race, it
Yeah.
started really raining, and then you know then it was a mess. So today it was after the fifth race. If you were on the lead,
Hmm.
you might as well stay home.
Yeah. And we're 5 minutes away, and sprinkles. That's all we got today.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny because I was listening to Capital OTB show, the handicap show, and they were
right.
saying, I guess Marmino lives, and sort of said they live more towards Albany,
Okay.
and Albany it poured last
Oh,
night,
okay. Right.
but the track didn't get all that much.
Hmm.
I mean, it rained, but not like it did in Albany. So
Right.
it's very sectional, a
Right.
lot like Vegas. Vegas, the past week we had tons of rain. There was one day the wind was blowing and the rain was coming down. So I don't think I've ever seen, I've been in a class, Signal 10 and uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Out in
Uh,
Asia, the typhoons.
Typhoon
Right.
in Hong Kong. I've never seen rain like this. I mean,
Right.
even in New York, I mean, or Connecticut, it just wasn't. I've never seen, and this was last Friday. wasn't even The storm hadn't even hit yet.
Right.
So, but in any event,
So get up early and
well, you're going to have to get up early to play anyway.
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
early for us.
Yeah.
The Capital OTB show starts at 5 o'clock out here,
Oh.
so eight
Just
o'clock.
just don't go to sleep. Just round the clock. Oh.
I don't have to try to do that. I was up at 3:30 this morning. So
Yeah, I know when I see a text, and if it comes in for you and it's like 6 o'clock, I said, wow.
yeah, right.
Or
Wow,
7 o'clock. Yeah.
that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, wow.
Well, I had a night. This this is a true story. I must have woke up in the middle of the night, used the bathroom, and I decided to just lay down on the couch. And I never went back to bed. I never even turned the TV on or anything. And G says, "Why are you out here?" I said, "I don't know." So, oh
No,
well.
I know what you mean. I
Yeah.
know what you mean. Well, shall we go? Well, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, this is a horse racing show.
yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
we've got two. We got Gunite and Elite Power. Do you side with one or the other?
no, well, Elite Power has dominated Gennett over the last few. Uh, the interesting, let me take a look here. That the I mean, there's not a lot of speed. I mean, Gunite looks to be the speed with the four pipeline. probably close enough to give him company.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and Elite Power is, he doesn't come from way back, but he does come from back, you know.
Right.
The interesting thing here, Gunite, we're talking about 7 furlongs. He's run it 6 times, and he's won 4 and finished second twice. So he's 6 for 6 in the exacta. So, I mean, to me, it would be an easy, trifecta, the 2 of them in first and second and all in the third and go home,
Yeah, I was slightly leaning toward Gunite, and I want to ask you about one horse in this race,
Yeah, go ahead.
Synthesis, because David Jacobson has, he's come out of hiding and he's been pretty successful with some surprises. I know this horse has had a lot of trouble at the break and stuff. How, as you as a handicapper, seeing a horse like this potentially springing a surprise or getting in the mix somehow, how do you look at horses like this?
To me, the horse is a candidate to finish third or fourth.
Okay.
I mean, to me, he's not in the class of the other 2.
Right.
Although, frankly, he's been running against, grade 1 horses. So, I mean, his last 3 are grade 2, grade 1. And one of those 3 finished second, 3 3/4 lengths behind. But I think it's between Gunite and Elite Power. Of course, I thought that today with Clariere and Nest, and neither finished in the first 2. So,
Right.
So who knows?
That's why they open the gates.
They
just
claim.
never know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So another stakes, Alan Jerkins, the 9th race, and always they say that the Alan Jerkins is a 7 furlong. They should have made him like a marathon dirt race or something. But they got Anyways, this also has a lot of strong top contenders and
a lot of speed.
And do you have anybody?
I think the key to the race is how do you handle number 5, New York Thunder? I mean, undefeated horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last time out, I ran in the grade 2 and won by 7.5 lengths. So
yeah,
it's got to win at Saratoga. You got all the things that you want in your horse. When you're betting a horse, he's got it, but there's a lot of speed. I think the interesting horse to me, there are 2 horses that Bafford's got 2. He's got Arabian Lion, and he's got Fort Bragg. Now, Fort Bragg is used to going further than 7 furlongs. He's been a router, but his speed figures are pretty good. If he's any decent price, he's got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Verifying is has been a class horse. Very, very difficult to keep in get on the right side of that horse. I mean, interesting. Verifying was on the lead in the Kentucky Derby, which they ran 110 and 2 or 4, and set the whole thing up for Mage.
Right.
I don't think that horse is going to be on the lead here. I think he's, he'll sit off and run. But from a class standpoint, he's been running against real class horses. The Everybody seems to be all over Baffert's horse, Arabian Lion. So,
I guess watch the board and see if there's any overlays in this one.
yeah, I would check an exacta of 6'3" to see if it will pay. You know.
Is Baffert flying out here?
Yeah, I heard he's coming.
Oh, okay.
He'll
Right.
be there tomorrow.
Okay.
So normally he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's here yet, but I think he's coming.
Yeah, Jimmy Barnes, is that his assistant?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sends him. Yeah, so. All right, we're going to proceed along Travers Stakes Day, and we've got the Ballerina, which is race number 10, and this may be, well, there's more time in between the races on days like this for TV and stuff like that. The Ballerina is another 7 furlong distance for 3-year-old fillies and up. And we've got, of course, Goodnight Olive in here. We've got
Echo Zulu.
Echo Zulu. I'm rooting for Echo Zulu. As far as betting, I don't know, but, you know, I just was impressed by the last performance and, you know, just.
I heard this morning on the horse show that's out here in Vegas, Jonathan Hart-Doon picked the 5. So,
oh, okay. Yeah, I had that one start as a long shot.
Yeah.
Number 5. Yeah. Wicked Halo. Yeah.
Wicked Halo.
Right.
The super screeners got the 2, you know, Goodnight Olive and Echo Zulu but they've got underneath their horses the 8 Caramel Swirl.
Okay.
From a speed figure, you know, actually has a better speed figure than, well, slightly lower than Goodnight Olive, but projected master pace, I should say. You know, it's got to win at Saratoga. It's Billy Mott, and he's been doing pretty well with Operato. So, you know, underneath it might be a factor. You got a different idea?
I had starred Wicked Halo as a possible price as well, number 5. So that's where I was kind of looking to see.
Got a good jockey on there. Caffrey has been hot.
Yeah.
Particularly recently. The other horse that I've heard some whispers on is the 2 Matarena.
Okay.
With Pratt on there, and I mean Pratt and Cox are they've started 51 times together, and he's won 31 times on his horses. So, you know, it's certainly a something to be aware of, you know. The other one that, of course, Goodnight Olive is Brown and Irad, and of course they've been, you know, 30% on the win side. So it's an interesting race.
Yeah, I was going to point something out. I also like that you were talking about the number 2 Monterey. The last race was at Ellis Park and finished 3rd, but, you know, 12 lengths behind the winner, and that track, correct me if I'm wrong, was really partial to front runners all the way, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
So this horse may be a little off the runners here in this race, not too far back, but this may be the suitable scenario for this one.
This is a grade 1 though, huh? Is it?
Yeah, it's a grade 1.
I mean, that horse is jumping from a grade 3.
Yeah, but Handle has won some grade 1s in the past, and I think
It's a Cox horse. Huh?
yeah, Cox horse back at Belmont won a grade 1, and then Saratoga finished third, but only a length and 3/4 back last August 6th. So yeah, and has been working well at Saratoga.
Wicked Halo, the one we talked about as a possible upsetter, is
Right.
2 for 2 at Saratoga.
Okay.
So, and is at the distance, run the distance 6 times, and has finished in the money 6 times. So definitely a horse. If it can't, it could split the 2 big horses. Should be not on the lead necessarily, but pretty close to the lead. Of course, Echo Zulu is, will lead. I mean,
Right.
So.
Yeah, this race is intriguing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's hard to separate the 2. Goodnight Olive and Echo Zulu.
Mm-hmm.
They're very complementary to each other. Did they faced each other recently too, right? No. In the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Right.
Goodnight Olive won by 2.5 lengths at Kelley. Of course, that horse is 3 for 3 at Saratoga.
Right.
And at the distance, three times start, 2 wins and a second. So, and it looks like it's a need to lead type of horse, though. Now, can you find a horse that's going to give it any problems on the front end? I don't see it. I think it's.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm just recharging. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, keep it going.
I think that in this race, it still comes down to Echo Zulu has got a real pace advantage,
Right.
So, and Goodnight Olive will come from outside of it, but Goodnight Olive's got Iran and Brown in its corner, so it should be a good race.
Yeah, so that should be an intriguing race, and we'll see weather-wise, if anything changes, or we're going to go into the 11th race, which is a marathon, 12 furlongs, a grade 1, and this is pretty interesting race. My number 1 pick was the number 2 Verstappen. Brendan Walsh.
I bet this horse the last time.
Oh, okay.
And he finished second. I actually won on the race because I had Channel Maker. I bet to win, and I bet the 2 of them first and second. So I got a decent exact out of it.
Yeah, I just had Channel Maker for win, but yeah, you must have hit a nice one.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I just can't see. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, let me pull that race up, because if I'm not mistaken, that horse it went like at 114 for 3/4. I mean, that's 116 and 1. So I mean, you're talking about they were in reverse until they hit the top of the straight, and
Right, right.
that's the race that uh, who was the favorite in there? The horse from overseas that won in the Breeders' Cup broke
Oh, that's the
down.
one. Yeah, the I forget the name, but the jockey, he got injured in that one.
Right,
Richard, yeah,
Egan, right? Was it Egan or?
yeah.
Uh, the other horse that everybody's talking about is Stone Age,
Hmm.
which is actually the favorite on the morning line, but it's Brown and Pratt, you know, and but it hasn't run since February, so it's a long layoff. Uh, Ran in Hong Kong, two back. Uh, so, and then there's the other interesting horse to me is the 5, and only because it's Linda Rice, and she scratched the horse out of the race yesterday or the day before for this spot.
Ah, okay.
Uh, you know, I, I, I I don't know. I mean, it's got to win at Saratoga, but it's stepping up in class, and the and the other one is Soldier Rising, the 1 for Clement.
Right.
And Jose, you notice in the last couple of days that Clement is riding
Hmm.
uh, Franco and Jose Ortiz, and not as much as he was always using Rosario, the biggest.
Right.
I don't know how you feel about it, but people are kind of down on Rosario. And one of the things in watching now, this is a buyer's remorse type of comment,
Yeah.
but I think one of the problems he has, particularly on turf, is he doesn't make quick decisions. He's not decisive. I've seen too many times where he starts outside and comes back in, and he kind of hesitates before he hits the hole. Indecisive. Uh, yeah. Whether
Well,
that's true.
I can't get down on him as much because he won me a race today. I think it was a sprint with Lucas. But I know
Well,
what you're talking about. Especially yesterday, he was catching a lot of flack.
he's funny. Of course, I mean, I used to watch him when he was at Golden Gate. That's how long
Wow.
he's been riding, And he, uh, he's always been known as a jockey that if he gets on the front end, he's hard to pass.
Hmm.
But he seems to have gotten in this habit of pulling a horse back and trying to make one run. Whether the horse is a front runner or not, he seems to be
Right.
doing it. And I don't think that may be causing him problems. Yeah, I mean, you don't see that with Pratt. Pratt, whatever the proper running style of the horse he's on, that's the style he uses. He doesn't take horses that are stalkers or closers and bring them to the front.
Right.
He's pretty much rides the race the way the horse should ride, and
Right.
that's what makes him good. And he's got an excellent sense of timing. So,
Yeah.
and particularly on grass. I mean, now he's riding. Uh, yeah, he's riding the 7. So
Yeah. Yeah, Chad Brown. It's not a weak. Well, he doesn't have many weak suits, but yeah, that length of a layoff, he wins about 1 out of every 4. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that to me, trying to put to look at where the pace is going to be on this. Now, obviously, with the rain they got, it's got to be. I mean, it was listed as firm or good today, but there's got to be given that. I mean, if they run on turf, it's got to be a soft. I mean, the horse that's going to go to the lead is Channel Maker. I mean, now they can't let him run a 116-1.
No.
3/4. I mean, if that happens, you can forget about it. The other thing that in looking at this race and trying to parse out who's got a shot, who's the best closer in the race. It looks to me like
maybe Verstappen.
Hang on.
Well, Channel Maker too, but
Verstappen, Verstappen, is that how you?
Yeah, something like that. Verstappen.
Verstappen.
Yeah.
That he looks to be the best close in the race. But he's going up class. I mean, he's been running at well, no, actually, he's running in the same class. This race is what? What race is this?
Oh, it's a grade 1.
Is it?
Yeah, grade 1.
But it's interesting. I'm looking at my software I use, and they've actually got him running against a softer crowd than he did the last time.
Oh, okay.
Because I think Appleby's horse that broke down.
Oh, yeah, right.
Probably increased the strength of race the last time. Now he finished second to Channel Maker by 2 lengths. Of course, there's also our old friend Bolshoi Ballet, who's O'Brien brings over here all the time.
Right.
And he hasn't won in a long time. So
yeah, the software I'm using same as you. It's a big step up. It says according to the numbers for Verstappen that race. Yeah. So
the horse that seems to be that doesn't seem class-wise in this race is the 5. And everybody else in the race is it's a grade 1 strength of race. It's they're in this thing. Only the 5 is the one that's stepping up considerably in strength of race. So I think we got that one pretty covered.
Yeah, we delved pretty good into that one. The main attraction is, of course, the Travers, which is the 12th race. I'm sorry, 12th race, which will be at 6:11 p.m. Right? Or is that 5:11?
It's at
Eastern time.
Yeah, 6:11.
6:11. Yeah. This one, of course, has Forte coming back, Arcangelo, Mage. He's got a lot of great horses. Do you have any horse who could upset those 3?
No, the horse, it's funny. Everybody, here's a horse I think I'm against,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of handicappers that I put strength in, thinking Mage is the horse to beat. And my problem with Mage is very simple. When he won in the Kentucky Derby, the race was run in a time that is frankly just unconscionable. I mean, for a mile and a 10 furlong race to go 110-1, the race was run for 3/4.
Right.
Now the Preakness was run in 113-2 by National Treasure, and Mage couldn't close into that. I mean, he was there. To me, he's a funny horse because he looks almost to be a one-run type of horse. The problem with this race is that Scotland, the 7, which is being far outside, is capable of running a 111-1. He's run a 109-4 in the last 2. So this horse, Scotland, is the fly in the ointment, because if he's able to run a 111 and change, you could throw National Treasure out. I don't think he'll be a factor. I mean, he'll be on the lead or running on the lead, but I think the horse that I think it can win this is the 6, Disarm.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, has the best pedigree possibly.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a win at the track.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, he made a run he was only 4.5 lengths off in the Derby, finished 4th, but he was running on. He beat Verifying in 2-back in the Matt Wynn, grade 3. And then he in the Jim Danny finished 4th, 2.25 lengths off. And that was a strange race also. I mean, so it's interesting. It still comes, I mean, I don't know whether you saw the podcast from Howard's podcast. On Tuesday, they interviewed the trainer, Antonucci.
Yeah, I did watch that. Yeah, it was good.
And then Richie.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he was really. I mean, he was dead set against Mage because he didn't think he looked good.
Right.
In his training, I thought he was underweight, and his color wasn't good, his skin wasn't good, and for Richie to come out like that, I'm almost. I mean, a lot of people think that he's the horse to beat. Mm-hmm. Certainly, if he's 4-1, he may be the value of the other 2. It's a wide open race. Let's be interesting to look at the board.
I don't think Scotland's gonna. I think that Scotland's gonna be underlay with all the steam people have been talking about lately.
Well, you're right. If that's the case, but the morning line is 12-1. I don't think anywhere close to that. Disarm is 8-1. Those 2 are somewhere in there. They're the best. Forte is. I mean, believe it or not, I was not impressed with that Jim Dandy that he ran.
Right.
I thought he should have come down, and uh, he did certainly bumped Angel of Empire, but I don't think Angel of Empire was going to finish. But he bumped uh, the who's the Saudi Crown? Was it Saudi
Yeah,
Crown?
Saudi Crown. Yeah.
At the wire, close to the
Yeah,
wire.
yeah. There was a little brush there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem with that is that Irad has a habit of intimidating, or I should say, trying to intimidate,
Right.
whether it's hurting or. I thought even the race today, there was an inquiry.
Yeah, I lost that one. It was the
well,
Dylan Davis, Manny Franco. I had the Dylan Davis horse. I was trying to go up, but
yeah, I did too.
yeah,
I did
yeah,
too. And you could have made a case. I mean, that horse obviously came across it. It was close to the wire, and they, this nonsense of did he cost them placing? Well, who the hell knows? How can you? That's a judgment call.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I would have. People were saying he shouldn't have come down. I thought he should.
Right. I think the only person who's going to settle it is Gary Stevens. He might have to go in and handle things. He's pretty strong on his opinions on it, which is, yeah.
Well, so is Richie. I mean, Richie.
Yeah, Richie. Yeah, as well. Yeah.
I mean, but Richie. I mean, Richie kind of tells you what really is going on.
Right. Right.
So, by the way, I saw his son Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's he's now an agent for two of the Davises.
That's right. Yeah.
Or not that, I shouldn't say that. It's Trevor McCarthy and his wife, Katie.
Okay.
He's the jockey agent for them.
His son competes in some handicapping tournaments I've been in. I've seen him in there. Yeah.
Very, very well spoken. Interesting profile, because he spent a year in Ireland. When he came out of college, he said he felt that he knew the racetrack. He'd been around it all the time.
Right.
And he wanted to see where it all began. So he worked for a year in Ireland on a breeding farm, and then went to Australia for another breeding farm. So he worked 2 years in the farm business.
Right.
Came back, and he was a breeding agent? What do they call him?
Bloodstock agent.
Bloodstock agent, and then he became a jockey's agent, but very well spoken. I could see him taking over for his dad somewhere along the line.
I saw Richie was talking. I don't know if you saw that. He was talking about how he. Oh, you probably saw it on Howie's broadcast about how he was terrible at the beginning. Yeah. And the dark days he was doing by himself, and probably a handful of people watching. Yeah, so that was pretty good.
And he says he's best off the cuff, not reading.
Okay.
Program script.
Right.
So
right.
Very. You're talking about the cream of the crop.
Right.
I think he's, Richie's better than Stevens. For some reason, Stevens seems a little slow in his delivery. I don't know whether you felt that way or not.
Maybe in the beginning, but I think I don't know, picked it up a little bit. But
Oh, I'm sure he has.
yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, when he was on the West Coast, I used to see him, you know, on the TV out there, and he was good.
Mm-hmm.
The one who's fantastic is Maggie Wolferdale. I mean, she has such a great personality, able to express herself
Right.
tremendously when she's talking. I mean, she really on Sundays was, you know, outshines Andy Serling. I mean, you know, and
yeah, she knows. She knows. She grew up probably from the cradle into the industry, right?
yeah, and Fox should have. Well, the problem, of course, she's got young kids and stuff. I'm sure that's a problem. I mean, she does work in the stable, the thing for her husband. So, but you're talking about a really professional person that can look at a horse and see things that you know we wouldn't see.
Right. Yeah, we're just seeing the odds and what's on the paper and maybe a few other things. Yeah.
Richie's very good with the warm up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's interesting because I was watching a podcast today, and they were interviewing. What Prouty and Pratt, I mean, I think it was Pratt, could have been someone else, could have been Castellano, but they put a lot of emphasis on people should be watching those, how a horse warms up.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of handicappers put a lot of stock in the how they run after the finish line.
Right, right.
And
they say the broadcasts have been showing more of the follow-ups, right?
Yeah, they say
Yeah,
that. It's hard for me to.
Yeah, we're usually cursing the losing tickets.
If we watch replays, we probably would see it.
Right, right.
But it's interesting how important the people, the jockeys feel the warm up is. You know, how a horse feels under them, and are they able to control them, and so on and so forth. So, by the way, did you happen to see? I forgot which race number it was at Hawthorne Sunday.
Oh, the jockey came off the horse?
Well, no, yeah. Well, he didn't
held on. Yeah, Abel Lescano. Yeah.
His is he the brother of Jose, or is he the cousin? He may be a cousin.
Yeah.
I know they're related.
The stirrup broke, right?
It broke.
Yeah.
But they were commenting how they've never seen a. I mean, even the jockey was quoted as saying he was trying to get off the horse, but the horse kept going straight. So he said, let me try to get back on," which he did.
Yeah.
I mean, when that horse went around the curve, the turn, right? You couldn't even see the jockey.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see his boot. That was all.
Yeah.
He was hanging off the horse. And it was an amazing ride. It's just an amazing ride.
Yeah, I sent him a little thing on Twitter, and he appreciated it. But yeah, that was something. That was.
Yeah. I saw it today. I saw it.
That's kind of like things that happened to you when you were riding quarter horses back in the day, right?
Yeah. The horse would have died if I was on him.
Me too.
From the weight.
Right. So after Saratoga, it's somebody joked today, 40 weeks of aqueduct.
Well, yeah, but different horses. I mean, it's going to be Belmont horses running an aqueduct. The other thing that going back to the Goodnight and
Elite Power,
and you as a Hong Kong aficionado.
Oh yeah, right.
the gunite's going to carry 6 less pounds.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's a, I mean, those two horses were very close to each other.
Right.
That could be a meaningful. I think the net difference is 4 pounds because Gunite went down 2, and so did who's the other horse? Elite Power
Right.
is running with 2 less pounds than he did in the last race. But overall, there is 6-pound difference. That could be the difference in Gunite winning that race.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really exciting day tomorrow. Wake up early. You'll be waking up at what, 2:00?
I'm gonna set the alarm for 4:50 so I get up and watch the handicapping show at Capital OTB.
That's right. Yeah. I saw the Brooklyn Cowboy Kevin on there the other day.
By the way, one interesting play is in the first race.
Okay.
A box of the 8 and 3, exacta box 8-3.
2-year-olds. Any particular why you like the?
No, I'm just giving you the picks of Gio. I've forgotten my name. With
Bacala.
Past the wire.
Right.
Yeah.
You said 8-3.
Yeah. The others have picked the 8 to win. Now the 8. Is the 8 the favorite? Hang on.
2-1 on the line.
Yeah, so he's but the 3 is a long shot, right? 3 is 5-1.
Right.
The 8 finished second by a neck at Saratoga in the last race. So he's got speed. Should be in good shape. He's got the best speed figure in the race. But the 8-3, the 3 apparently had a lot of trouble. Had an awkward stump, bumped in between, checked very sharply, and then made a run from the 3/4 mark. Interesting.
Yeah, 11:40 Eastern time, 8:40 out your way. So, how many cups of coffee will you be on before the gates open for the first?
Oh, definitely 3. I mean, I drink out of a 24-ounce cup, so it's hard for me to estimate how many cups there are.
Yeah. It's like
I'll probably have 2 of those.
Right.
48 ounces of coffee.
Yeah, it's like they say, the doctor said, stick to 2 drinks of alcohol a day. And somebody says, yeah, they stick to it, but like 64 ounces for each.
Nobody said that to me, Joe.
Oh.
Ever.
They just locked the cabinet up, right?
They knew if I was drinking, there was trouble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What was the guy? Some guy in Thailand.
Did you see Vic Stoffer is in rehab?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so wishing Vic, the best on that with the painkillers. Yeah, that's tough.
Is it painkillers or both?
First when I read it, I was seeing painkillers, but it may be both. It's addiction nonetheless, right? At least he admitted So wishing Vic the best, and we'll see him hopefully doing what he loves when he gets out.
He's had an interesting career.
Right.
I mean, he was a steward at one time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then he became he was the race caller at Hollywood Park before it closed. Then he was uh, a jockey's agent, and he was a jockey's agent for, he may have been a jockey's agent for Rosario at one time. Was it Rosario? I forgot. And then, of course, then he ended up at Oakland Park. So
Yeah.
he was supposed to do Lone Star this year, but I don't think they allow a microphone in the rehab. So
Not yet.
but you never
Yeah.
can tell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, things are always changed, but yeah, wish Vic the best in recovery. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're talking about everything here. We're talking about recovery. We're talking about horses. In the beginning, we were talking about weather, I think. So I think
We needed weather.
yeah, we need some good weather.
You talk about a bad handicapper. The weatherman is terrible.
Wow. I mean, I don't know if it's, yeah, it used to be that you could forecast something 3 days out, but now it's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, the only place to be a handicapper of weather is Las Vegas, where sunny and hot every.
Yeah. They never
I
got a
mean,
track out there, right?
no, it's
No.
100 degrees. It's interesting why I don't understand why they don't, other than it is too hot. I mean, particularly during summer, it's just too
Right.
hot.
Hey,
Now,
yeah.
you could have an indoor one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Have they ever talked about an indoor racetrack? I've never seen one.
No, they have an indoor football field.
Right. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, not this coming Saturday, where Notre Dame is going to play in Ireland against Navy, and
Oh, okay. Is
the
Jim
head
going
coach
out
of
there?
Navy, huh?
Is Jim
No,
going out there?
he's coming here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with he and Catherine on the 2nd of September,
Mm-hmm.
and Bryant is playing Las Vegas
Oh, really?
in the stadium out here. And I asked Jim, are they playing football or rugby? What I didn't even know they had. Bryant had a football team.
Yeah. I didn't. There haven't been powerhouses, but who knows?
I don't know what the spread is. I'll give you the points.
Yeah.
But the coach of Navy said, that Notre Dame quarterback, he's just a few years younger than I am.
How does Notre Dame look this year? What are they forecasting?
Well, they're very young. I mean, they got a lot of talent, and they brought in the quarterback from Wake Forest,
Okay.
who's is 6 years. I mean, he threw more touchdowns in the ACC than anybody in history there.
Right.
But the first 4 games are all against Little Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah.
Before
Let's hope they don't screw up one of those games.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Head coach better not allow them to screw up.
Right.
And so Ohio State is the 5th game of the season at Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
That'll be the start, the defining moment. But they have a lot of young talent. And, Notre Dame, they point out, Notre Dame, if they run, they have a very big back. And if they get 40 carries,
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame wins.
So,
I mean, they got a quarterback that can swing the ball.
right.
And now the problem is they don't have any wide receivers or tight end that has got double digits in receiving passes in their career. So it's a brand new team. I mean, it should be they should handle Navy. The problem with Navy at all the military academies is that with that offense that they run,
Right.
defenses just don't play that type of offense except once a year.
Right.
And trying to shut down the run is a problem. It's always been a problem with Notre Dame. So it'll be interesting to watch. It's on
Yeah.
TV.
Are the NBC? Are they still
NBC at 2:30 your time.
okay? So that'll kick off tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Big-
All right. So thanks, Dad, for the extensive look at the Travers and other topics. We had a good discussion there, and
Excellent.
wishing everybody some success. And cheer up, everybody. We got one more week, a little more than 1 week at Saratoga, and I'm sure there'll be some special moments. Hopefully tomorrow.
We could be, handicapping, what's the other track in New York?
Aqueduct.
FL with Finger Lakes.
Oh, Finger Lakes. Yeah. Hey, there's money to be made everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Hong Kong, when does it resume?
I think in a couple of weeks.
Okay. So you're going to dive into Hong Kong pretty good, or?
Oh, I'll look at it. I got out of the habit. It was just too much work.
Yeah.
But that, they have their past performances and the information you get and your betting and everything else. I mean,
Right.
if we were able to somehow use that type of software here in the United States, I think we'd be further ahead. It really makes a difference.
Hey, let me ask you a quick question about Hong Kong racing and the problems with illegal medications here and the trainers. How strict are they of keeping everything under control?
There's no medication allowed on race day. None, zero.
Okay.
And
Are there still violations?
Well, you'd probably get a one-way ticket back to Australia. You just don't. They don't.
They don't play.
You don't hear. I mean, they just don't allow it. And part of the reason, and this is one thing I'd be interested in your feelings. One of the problems I have with this whole medication and suspension is that you never hear them addressing the vet involved.
Yeah.
To me, these things, if there's an overage, I can guarantee you none of these trainers actually shoot these horses up with anything. That's not their, they would never do that.
Right.
So it's got to be the vet, and to me, they never look at that.
Yeah, you don't hear too much about it. Yeah.
Even the two guys that went to jail was all started by a vet who gave him this miracle concoction.
I saw the other day one trainer got nabbed for possibly giving the horse omeprazole. For the acid reflux.
Oh, is that what it? Oh,
yeah. Omeprazole. Because I was like, oh, we got
pressure.
Yeah. So, hey, thanks, Dad. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up and wish everybody the best. Thanks for watching us, and we'll see you next week.
Look forward to it, Joe. Good luck.
Okay, you too. All right, thank you.